Hello, my name is James Rugburn reporting. I'm here to read you the review for Greta Van Fleet, their album Anthem of the Peaceful Army, as reviewed by Pitchfork. Holy shit, you're gonna go nuts. They ranked it, by the way, spoiler alert, 1.6 out of 10. 1.6. Are you ready? Put on your boots, because this is fucking weird. Greta Van Fleet sound like they did weed exactly once. Call the cops and try to record a Led Zeppelin album before they arrested themselves. That's how it starts. The poor kids from Frankenmuth, Michigan don't even realize they're more of an algorithmic fever dream than an actual rock band. See where this is going? While they're selling out shows all over the world, somewhere in a boardroom, a half dozen people are figuring out just how exactly Jimmy Page and Robert Plant are supposed to fit into the SUV with the rest of the Greta Van Fleet boys on carpool karaoke. That's not a bad line, but fucking what is wrong with you, man? The writer's name is Jeremy D. Larson. Jeremy Larson, he's the senior editor of Pitchfork, I guess. Just look at this photo. Brothers Jake and Sam Kizga, I don't know how to say their name yet, on guitar and bass, are both wearing hippie costumes they 3D printed off the internet. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? If they're 3D printed, they'd look like Devo. Greta Van Fleet is all costume, and if things that look like another thing is your thing, get ready to throw your lighters up for a band whose guiding principle seems to be reading the worst Grand Funk Railroad songs as if they were religious texts. Now you're going to rip the Grand Funk. Look, I'm not going to sit here and defend them, but what happened to you? What happened in your life? Though their debut album Anthem of the Peaceful Army sounds like a bona fide classic rock record with its fuzzy bass, electric sitar, solos, and lyrics featuring the kind of self-actualized transcendence brought on by a few too many multivitamins, it's not actually classic rock. Why you keep poking at them? Like, multivitamins? You're saying that they're like kids? Oh god, please don't let rock bands be filled with young people. Jesus Christ, let's keep them old. What's Mark Knopfler doing? What is he up to now? They're the new kind of vampiric band, fuck you, who's there to catch the runoff of original classic rock using streaming services, data-driven business model. Greta Van Fleet exists to be swallowed into the algorithm's churn and rack up plays, of which they already have hundreds of millions. They make music that sounds exactly like Led Zeppelin and demand very little other than forgetting how good Led Zeppelin often were. So he starts mentioning streaming services. This dude is on a fucking rampage. He hates the way music's heard now. He hates this band. He hates fun. He hates life. Fuck him. It's possible to be an exceptional classic rock vampire act. And this is the second time he used vampire. He's so fucking clever. But it requires something more than the major label money and vaguely Native American accoutrements. I can't say that word. It's why Greta Van Fleet can't compete with, say, The Darkness. I'm not going to read you the rest of that paragraph. He just starts sucking off The Darkness for some God knows reason. They care so deeply and are so precious with their half-baked boomer fetishism. They mollycoddled every impulse of late 60s rock and roll into an interminable 49-minute drag. I just heard the album. It's fun. It's fun as shit. There's riffs all over. Yeah, they sound just like Led Zeppelin. Who gives a shit? Isn't that kind of a fun thing to think about? Some new Led Zeppelin songs? Jesus Christ, we're not giving them our fucking souls here. We're just enjoying some rock and roll. And at least Zeppelin knew to separate their sweet lady I'm horny songs from their howling about literary fantasy songs. Hilariously, Greta Van Fleet combined them into one on The Cold Wind. That song's actually pretty cool. Where the narrator, who is dying, begs his sweet mama to take the family ox, I guess, to town to sell it. Then, mid-ox transaction, this happens. And then he quotes this line, "The Yankee peddler bargains with you on his way. Whoa, sweet mama's gotten herself a new dress." That's not that bad a line, asshole. That's funny, but it's not supposed to be funny, because Greta Van Fleet do not possess self-awareness at all. How the fuck do you know? How the fuck do you know? When asked about a characteristically Ugg lyric, he wrote Ugg, by the way. All my brothers who stand up for the peace of the land. That's the line he just quoted as being shit. Jake responded, in part, I guess it's subject to interpretation, but I think the initial idea with that was, as brothers, we stand for the peace of land, and that was for the good of earth and for man. Ignoring that this is basically a gag and Spinal Tap, a much better answer would speak to the spirit of the music they are trying to capture would be, I don't know, who gives a shit? So the artist gives a thoughtful answer, and this joyless nutcup is having none of it. None of it. The back half of the album alternates between the ignorable and the unforgivable, from what is a somewhat fun stomper, Mountain of the Sun, to what should never be, The New Day. Features Josh singing about watching a child grow in a garden, seeing her bloom so she can be a woman soon. None of this lysergic, sexual thinking is within the band's grasp. They are just swatting at crusty platitudes and cold-pasting old mythos, hoping no one notices that they are too small, too inept to even put forth one meaningful, specific, original idea. Wow. But for as retro as Anthem of the Peaceful Army may seem, in actuality, it is the future. It's proof of concept that in the streaming and algorithm economy, here he goes again about this fucking algorithm, a band doesn't need to really capture the past. You know what? Fuck the rest of this. Gibson Guitars is going to go out of business. Kids aren't playing guitars anymore. I wonder why. Because this is what they read. Bullshit that punishes them for wanting to have some fucking fun. Pitchfork is killing music. Pitchfork is why Donald Trump is president. Pine Vinyl.